Yeah. No.
Let's do a show, everybody.
Oh, I'm ready.
It's time. We're going to get
Bring
this
it
going.
Bring it on.
Yeah, going to be great. So sit back and relax. Enjoy your Monday as we waft some airwaves your direction. I'm going to start recording. I know.
Some stinky airwaves.
Let's see here. Looks like we're ready. In 3, 2, 1.
Hi, I'm Wendy's founder, Dave Thomas. From the day I opened the first Wendy's, my goal has been to serve the best hamburger in the business, a Wendy's old-fashioned hamburger. So I started with the freshest beef I could find, 100% pure beef, never frozen. And we patted it into squares so the hamburger hangs over the side of the bun.
The liver and gizzard are prime suspects.
The Morning Stream. Don't eat that. It's Pluto.
Hello and welcome to TMS. It's the morning stream for Monday, November 13th, 2023. I'm Scott Johnson with Brian Ibbett.
Hello.
Good
it's time
morning.
for the freshest TMS in the business.
In the binness, he says.
Business.
You know, back when we played that thing in like 2011, I didn't remember hearing the binness part, but
No, I know. There's a whole bunch of stuff in there. Yeah, you got freshest and old-fashioned was the thing that we focused on and forgot about all the other gems all around it. Also, using the term patty as a verb, we patted it into squares.
Oh, I don't know if that's a verb either. Yeah.
I don't think that's a verb. I don't think you can say we pattied it.
Geez, Mr. Hot and Juicy there in your grave. What were you thinking?
That's right.
Wasn't he so Ohio native? Do I have that right? Because I think there's an Ohio thing going on with the accent, like the bidness and the fresh.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Somebody out there knows that. You live out there, confirm or deny Dave Thomas's existence in your great state of Iowa. All right.
Right.
They say Iowa or
Born in
Ohio?
Atlantic City, New Jersey.
Oh, that's totally wrong.
Died in Fort Lauderdale, so he just slowly made his way down the coast.
Yep.
But I wonder if he lived most of his life in Ohio or something. Kalamazoo, Michigan.
Michigan. Maybe it's a Michigan.
It's where he spent most of his youth. And then at 12, they moved to Knoxville, Tennessee.
Oh, my Lord.
And then 15, moved with his dad up at the Hobby House restaurant in Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Okay. He's all over the place.
He's all over the place,
He's
yeah.
just got a Midwest thing going, I guess. I
I think that's just the accent that comes from all of those places. I no doubt the Atlantic City, New Jersey is where he got bidness.
Yeah. That sounds like...
Hey, you can come to casino. We'll take care of business.
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 It's very weird.
Business.
Well, anyway, we're glad to be here. We hope you're all well.
Yeah.
Quick reminder that at about an hour after the show ends tomorrow will be the first episode of Word on the Street with myself and Greg Street.
Nice.
Frogpants.tv, which will take you to either Twitch or YouTube, wherever you prefer.
Oh, you're going to be doing it live. Cool.
Oh,
Very
yeah.
cool.
Totally live streaming
that
it.
business.
We'll have VODs and everything, and the podcast, of course. And that reminded me to remind people that if you are interested in asking Greg questions about his new things, I think tomorrow's going to be just me and Greg. There'll be other team members on different episodes. But we're going to talk about the founding of the company, kind of its founding principles, what he wants to do, some other early ideas. We're going to take some questions we already have or use some questions we already have. But if you want to send yours in, you can use our self-same Frog Pants hotline number, 801-471-0462. Leave a text or voicemail, and we'll ask it on the air. Keep them short,
I
though.
have one question for Greg Street, and I'll have to get it. I'll send it in the appropriate ways, but it's what is this new MMO, and what's it going to be called, and how much is it going to cost, and when can I have it?
Oh, perfect. Those are the questions we're looking for, exactly.
Yeah,
those
I'm
kind.
sure,
Yeah.
I'm sure he's ready to answer all of those things.
Yeah, he wants to nerf paladins or something. We're and by the way, we will favor shorter, succinct questions over long, drawn out ones. So just know that, everybody. If you're sending something in, just keep it in the realm of short. Okay, it's just a better chance of getting played or heard. So there you go.
Cool. What is your favorite fresh hamburger topping?
He'd probably have an answer on that.
Probably would, yeah.
Right now, it's probably eggs because he's raising chickens in Texas.
Oh, really? Oh, nice.
Yeah,
cool.
he moved down there from Orange County bought a little place with a little bit of chicken zone there.
Go to Chicken Zone.
The Chicken Zone, and now goes out there, gets eggs in the morning, checks on them. I think it's great.
Perfect.
Anyway, that's tomorrow. Tomorrow at noon Mountain Time here at frogpants.tv, and of course the podcast afterwards, which you can find all that stuff at frogpants.com/street or at fantasticpixelcastle.com, which is their company name. All right, more now than ever. I've come to a conclusion. Need to share this. Tesla, the Tesla neighbor, right?
Yeah.
That has like 5 Teslas. They had a baby.
Oh, cool.
This is their third. And just to give you some perspective on time here, when we had our big neighbor battle with them, because Nick put a bag of poo on their driveway from their dog that kept pooping in our yard.
Right.
That was early 2016, and they only had one kid, and it was a baby then. Mm-hmm. So this should give you enough. We've had some time pass. Lives have changed. 3 kids now. Started
seen
with
each
one.
other and talked to each other and stuff. And
Sure, things have happened. It all really started to kick off when Kim and Nick went and saved them from their car getting stuck in the snow. And that's when they went,
right.
oh,
yes.
These guys are nice. But now I have a theory that I cannot shake, and I'm not a positive, but I also don't know how to confirm this. So yesterday, Kim goes, let's go over there and bring them a little baby gift and then see if they want dinner. I said, okay, that sounds great. Let's do it. Mm-hmm. So Kim and I walk over there. Nice and chilly and cold. Mm-hmm. Bing bong. She comes to the door. And she says, oh, that's so nice. Thank you. And we gave him the leftover Pokemon cards for her son, all that. And it turns out the two other kids and the husband, Tesla himself, are all in Disneyland so she can have time with the new baby to chill and not have 2 other kids running all over the place. Exactly.
That's kind of okay. It makes...
it seems like everybody
wins.
To
get the other kids out of the house, but you'd think that, I don't know, the father should be there.
I would think so. Like, personally, I think you kind of want to be there for the early bonding stuff, but what do I know? I don't know.
I just had the baby. You guys go have some fun in Disneyland. I'm gonna take care of the baby.
Yeah. So they did that. They took off. She's there just with the kid, and we were finding this out as we're at the door. And she's like, oh, that's so sweet. You guys are really nice. We'd love dinner. That's awesome. Whatever. So Kim's like, great. We're going to go back. We're making some kind of fettuccine variant or something. And so we go back to do it. And as we're going back, I say to her, I go, do you think they know we're the same people from that incident? Because there is a real feeling or a sense that so if you knew Kim in 2016, she had long, dark hair. Dark black hair. Right. I was about 20 pounds lighter and also had a lot more hair. And it hadn't gone gray yet.
Right.
And in that very sort of brief amount of time, all of those things have changed. In fact, in 2017, when we all shaved our heads for Tina here at the house, that Kim never grew her hair fully back again. It's always since then it's been the mohawk thing.
Little point. Still purple?
Yeah, no, right now not, but most of the time, yeah. She likes to do a color. So it's just been completely different from a overall look standpoint.
But plus it's not like you guys haven't seen each other since 2016.
No, there's been times, like I said, when we helped him move the car up, but that was that was right before Nick moved out, so that would have been 2019.
Okay.
So we didn't see them hardly at all during the pandemic.
Yeah.
I saw him once at a neighborhood barbecue where he wanted to talk about podcasts. And so we sat and did that, and that was surreal because this guy, was making threats and suddenly he's not. So, and it was fine. It was all very lovely and everything, but there's I just get this feeling that they are not sure we're the same people that used to live there. I could be dead wrong, but it feels like from like 2019 and on, they might be under the impression that somebody else came and helped them get the car out. Somebody else moved in there and checks on them sometimes, or is friendly at Halloween or whatever it is.
All right, well, there might be something to that, because there are houses on our street that I don't know if the people living there that I see and I wave to when they walk their dog and go by the house have been there for years, or if they just moved in this last summer.
Right.
Like, there are people now, not directly across the street. I know, all the people basically in a 2-house radius around our house, like all the neighbors next door, the neighbors next door to them, across the street, blah, blah, blah. But you go 4 or 5 houses up the way. Like, we met one of our neighbors on Halloween, because we went up there and wanted to see their whole setup, and they did a walk through horror maze in their garage with a lot of special effects and lights and stuff like that.
Sure.
And we've seen their, like, it's the funniest thing, like their dog. I know their dog has lived here for years. But the owners, it feels like it might have been the first time I've ever seen them, even though somebody has to walk the dog and let it poop in our yard when it walks by.
Right. Yeah. So that's interesting. So I guess it's possible that this is the case, but it just and you know what? The other thing is maybe it's just the way they talk to us. They always have a look on their face like they're not sure.
Sure. But is it just her? Because it was just her that you interacted with yesterday.
Yeah, it's just her. And I barely ever see him, so we don't have that many interactions with him. But Kim's talked to her here and there. We had when she was very pregnant and was like 2 weeks overdue or something and out walking around. Kim was out there and says, "Oh, how's it going? Oh, we're 2 weeks over." And they had this whole conversation. But even Kim, who has had these conversations, said, "Yeah, I don't know." She says, "I don't know if they do or not." And it's not like last night. They're like, and she goes, "And what's your name?" It's almost like she forgot talking 2 weeks ago when they were out on the street. And Kim's like, really? "Oh, it's Kim, and here's my phone number if you need anything. If if anything comes up while your husband's out of town, let us know." And so she jotted her number down, but I'm pretty sure they already had her number. So it's all just a little. There's just something, dude. I can't explain it. Can't explain it. And they're being lovely. They're being very nice, and they're awesome. And they got new Teslas all the time. You can hear them driving up in the back going,
sure.
That weird sound
maybe
they make.
It easily could be. It could be their way of saying, all that weirdness that transpired with the dog poop. We're just gonna put that behind us all and pretend you're brand new people.
Yeah, and maybe that's how they dealt with it.
Could be.
They shoved us into the past, forgot who we were on purpose. And started anew. That's entirely possible. I don't know.
So when you have dinner with them later on, because I'm assuming, is it dinner while the husband's still at Disneyland, or are you going to wait for?
No, so she made dinner last night, and we rewatched.
Oh, and took it over last night.
Yeah, we took it over last night. Yeah. So.
Okay, because I was going to say, you need to sit him down and say, "Hey, do you remember about 4 or 5 years ago, middle of the night, you were outside, you yelled something, and then got in your car and drove off? What was it?"
Yeah, can you remind me that expletive that you yelled in front of my house while you had a baby in the car and all that stuff? And then when I went outside, you were already driving away really fast, but I couldn't hear you because it's a Tesla. Do you remember this? Like, I have such burned in specific memories of it.
That's funny. Yeah.
And I don't know if they do. They probably do, and this is just them kind of weirded out that we flipped it. That we turned it around, that everybody's getting along, and that we're making food for you. And that part maybe has made them feel, I don't know. We killed them with kindness, Brian. That's what happened. We killed them with kindness.
You know what?
They
if
didn't
anyone
know it was
can
coming.
do it, it's Kim and you, but mostly Kim.
I just follow her in her wake.
That's right.
So anyway, it was weird, and I just thought I'd share it because I don't know. Maybe
so
something.
What's that?
No, go ahead.
Oh, we went to a birthday party for my niece Maddie. She's getting married next year. Love her fiance, and got to meet his parents. She turned 30, and so it was like a big event, dinner, and before that we went axe throwing, which the only other time I've been axe throwing is with you in Vegas.
Yeah, that was
part
fun.
of a TMS Vegas, and that was a lot of fun.
Fremont, right? Is that where we went? The Fremont.
It was on Fremont.
One?
Yeah, it was place the Neonopolis or something area. I don't know if that place is still around, but I think
it's kind of tucked back behind that Denny's over there, like the
the Denny's with the wedding chapel.
Yeah,
in
it's
it.
weird.
Yes.
So weird.
Yes.
Anyway, yeah, it was fun.
So did the axe throwing, and we were just we're laughing so hard. We're having fun. One of my other nieces was there, and she just because she's super girly girl, when she would throw it, she would twist her body and be like all weird when it was like kind of afraid that it was going to bounce back and hit her and stuff. Mm-hmm. And I made the comment that she looked, her final pose after she throws it, she kind of looks like a hood ornament with like the, Mercury or something.
That's cool.
And So we're laughing and laughing so hard tears are coming to my eyes, etc.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I go up and I do the axe, and you're supposed to be really careful. Like when you pull the axe out of the target, you lift it straight up to kind of rock it out of its hole. You don't stand in front of it and pull it straight back into your face. You have to kind of, wiggle it out of its.
There's ways to do it, and there are ways not to do it. And you were doing it the way you're supposed to do it.
I was doing it the way I was supposed to do it, and then of course when it's the next person's turn, you hold it by the blade and you put the handle out towards them to grab it. And all of these things I was doing. I went up and I got close to a bullseye. Went up, pulled it out the right way, and then grabbed it. And as I was grabbing it by the blade to turn it around to hand it to the next person. The blade, like the corner of it, just to show you how sharp these things are, barely grazed the back of my left hand. And I'll show you. I mean, you can't really see much, but like there's a slice.
Yeah.
More predominantly right here.
Kind of like a cat scratch, kind of a little bit.
Kind of like a cat scratch, exactly.
Yeah.
And
less fecal.
What's that?
I said less fecal matter in the cut. But
less fecal matter, sure, exactly. Less that thing is going to puff up and poison you.
Yeah.
But just felt like it barely touched me, and so I handed it off to the next person, and I'm just waiting. We're still chatting and laughing with everybody, and then I looked down and realized, oh crap, my hand is bleeding. Out of those wounds. I'm like, really? Wow, that thing was so sharp. I barely felt it. Like it cut the skin super clean, and was enough to break the skin, but I barely even felt it because it was so sharp. So I'm like, oh crap! And Tina's like, Tina gasps, like, no, it's fine. It's just a little bit of blood. It's totally fine. So I we're right by the bathroom. So I go in the bathroom. I'm gonna go wash it off and everything.
Sure.
And I wash it, clean with some soap really good, get some paper towels, kind of dabbing it off. And because I'm laughing so hard, after I dry my hands, I'm using the paper towel to kind of, dab the tears out of my eyes.
Oh, I know where this is going. All right.
And this is when the manager comes in, who Tina had said, oh yeah, he cut himself, might need a Band-Aid. He comes into the bathroom just as I'm like dabbing my eyes with a paper towel. I'm like, oh no, I was laughing really hard. That's why I have tears.
That's
I don't
funny,
need
man.
those sticky Band-Aids. I'm fine.
Yeah, well, they worry because they probably have you sign a thing. You got to sign. We did in Vegas.
I signed a thing on the way in that, like I even read it, but basically just saying, I won't sue them if I take off a pinky or whatever.
It's like a video game EULA. You just sign it and move on and play your game.
Exactly. It's like, come on, I want to start killing monsters.
Yeah.
So I kind of made it look like I was sobbing my eyes out from getting a little tiny nick on my hand. Yeah. But it was, oh my God, so much fun. And he, I can't remember if they did this at the place we went. I think we went to a place called the Axe Hole.
It was the Axe Hole. That's it.
Yeah. In Vegas. And this guy's the number, or was the number one knife thrower in the country as part of the knife throwing league, world knife throwing league.
I didn't even know that. I never heard of that. That's a thing.
But there's a thing for everything, Scott.
Wow.
And so he brought over and says, anybody want to learn how to throw knives? I'm like, yes, I want to throw knives at the target. I had such a blast throwing knives. Now it's harder than an axe because the axe, the weight of it, you have a couple specific places and you can be a few inches back, a few inches forward, and it'll have enough rotations to stick in the board. With knives, you have to be in like one specific spot, and it's based on how hard you throw, like what angle your wrist is at and stuff. And so he would say, all right, move forward 2 inches, and I'd move forward 2 inches, and it's like right there, perfect,
and
dead
it would
end.
Go in weird
The knife right in. That was my favorite thing to throw was knives.
Well, now
I had such a blast with that.
I was so that's interesting because there's a ton of rotations with a knife, right, or more.
Yes, yeah, more rotations than with an axe. An axe is like zhoo, zhoo, zhoo. A knife is like shoo, 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 shoo.
I guess if you do it enough, you probably get a feel for it, and it just feels you know what you're your wrist speed and your distance should be at any given time if you're really good at it. That guy could probably throw a knife from anywhere and hit the target the way he wanted to.
Oh no, he knows, like, because it's going to be the same for him. He knows that there are going to be enough rotations. He knows the specific places he has to stand for the number of rotations. So like either here or a foot and 4 inches back for one more rotation or whatever. It's I'm a little surprised that the axe was sharp enough to cut you. I would have thought those were kept more dull because they don't need to be super sharp to embed themselves in that wood, or that cork or whatever they're using. But I guess not. Yeah, wood. Yeah, no, it's sharp ass blades is what they were.
Well, if you're looking for Brian DNA, we know where to go.
That's right. I'll put some little vial, and somebody can sell it to you on the streets of Austin.
That's right.
And,
get that going, like Madonna's Pap smear. We just watched
Madonna's Pap smear.
Yeah, it's the whole story. Don't come at us.
We'll talk about that before the news, possibly.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see. Well, anyway, let's get some. Speaking of games, kind of like axe throwing. Let's throw some trivia around by adding Randy to this call, because Brian Dunaway has a thing and is stuck in an office trying to get something done for his dad at a doctor's office, and it's taking forever. So he's like, man, I can't do it today. And we're like, man, it's okay. We'll bring Randy in. So let's do it right now. Joining us right now is pinch hitter Randy Jordan. Hi, Randy.
Good morning stream. I have a story. So 48 hours ago, I went to make biscuits, and I had a can of pop biscuits in the fridge. And in my entire life, I've always known people who are like afraid of pop biscuits, right?
Yeah, because they pop.
When it pops.
They pop. And I've always thought, oh, that's nonsense. That's nonsense. You just pull the wrapper off, and then you tap them on the side of the counter. If they're really, really explosive, like maybe you have to like use a knife, right?
Yeah.
But like, it's not a big deal. So I go, and as I start pulling the paper off the outside of the pop biscuits, this thing explodes and rockets into my body. And right now, 48 hours later, I have a circular bruise that you could see on my stomach. Yes.
From the recoil of the bottom of the Pillsbury can?
That's amazing.
It is. I would never believe this if it had not happened to me. Like you could, it's just unbelievable. And it hit me so hard. I screamed. I was mad. It was like getting shot by a beanbag bullet or something.
What's your go-to brand? Do you do the Pillsbury, or is there another brand you like?
Yes.
Pillsbury, yeah.
Pillsbury,
so.
yeah. It's kind of the standard.
Some kind of Grand's flicky layers or something.
Sure. I have audio. I have audio of you getting hit. Here it is.
Oh,
just kidding. Not really.
That's pretty much what I sounded like. It was so painful, and I'm telling you, a perfect circle bruise. It's like, I didn't know this was possible, and now I understand. Everyone out there who's afraid of those damn cans, I understand. I will never look at it the same.
Yeah, it'll never be the same. Well, good. Well, I'm glad you're, first of all, okay, and it's only a bruise. Second of all, that you're here pinch hitting, and even your name sounds like a baseball pinch hitter. Randy Jordan stepping up to take a shot for the A's or whatever. I don't know. I can't think of anything.
Sure.
Anyway, Brian Ibbett over here has all the rules and all the regulations, I guess. So Brian, explain those to people.
Please fill out this NDA form. Welcome to the Morning Half-Ass, is a trivia game where I'm actually going to be giving the two of you the answers. I'm going to give Scott and Randy a category and 6 possible answers, 3 of which are correct and 3 of which are, like my tears, false. Depending on how confident you are with the category, you can provide 1, 2, or 3 guesses. But if you get any of those guesses wrong, you get 0 points for that round. Get 1 right gets you a point. Get 2 right gets you 3 points, and get all 3 correct, you get 5 points for that round. Player with the most points after 3 rounds wins the prize for their contestant. Who are these contestants, you may ask? Well, I will tell you. Scott, you're playing for Juan Toro from Boca Raton, Florida.
Okay. Feels like
That's
I could
the best
retire
kind
there.
of tuna you can get at the sushi place.
Sure.
Randy, you're playing for Michael Zwart from Amsterdam.
Okay,
Nice.
all right, let's go.
Legalized hookers and sweet weed.
That's California too, so don't be too.
And Nevada, there's a few places you can get that stuff now.
I love it when you name a place and Scott just says whatever he happens to know about it.
yeah,
That's the way, man. That's how I do.
Yeah.
exactly.
Been my way
All right,
my
let's
life.
get to it. Get to your first question here, and let's we're talking about geography here. Let's go to geography, specifically currency. Tell me which of these which three of these 6 items are actual currencies of Africa? Your choices are the Kwokwo, the Bagu, the Burr, the Moto, the Seti, and the Kwanzaa. Which
Moto?
3 of those are actually currencies of Africa?
They all look like they could be.
Ugh.
Damn. I have
Why you
no
do this to
idea.
me?
This is hard. I'm going to go with 2 and hope for the best. If I did 3, I would
Okay.
feel like I overdid it.
Ugh.
I know. It's
Why?
It's tricky.
Yeah, I feel so. Okay. I also went with 2. Oh, I've screwed up so bad.
Maybe.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. Neither of you picked the same ones, by the way.
Oh.
Nice.
You guys both, between the 2 of you, Scott, you chose Burr and Moto. Hello, Moto. Randy, you chose Bagu and Seti. You each chose 1 correct and 1 incorrect.
Damn it.
The actual answer is Kwanzaa is actually currency of Angola.
Oh, I didn't know.
Believe
So
it
when
or
you
not.
celebrate Kwanzaa in Kwanzaa, or no, sorry, you celebrate Kwanzaa with Kwanzaa, right?
That's right. You're gonna buy some Kwanzaa decorations for Kwanzaa.
Yeah.
Seti and Burr were the other 2 correct choices. Seti comes from Ghana. Burr comes from Ethiopia.
Oh, nice. None
I
of
know
these are dong like in Vietnam. I like the dong.
I know it's Rand in South Africa because I was working for a company that got purchased by a South African company, and then they all came and met us, and my name is Randy, and they were like, "Oh, Rand, that's they like it."
It's short for Krugerrand, right?
Is it?
Sure.
I have
think-
no
I
idea.
don't know.
I have no idea.
Yeah. I don't know. Somebody might be able to help me with that one. Let's get to the next question, shall we?
All right.
All right. Let's go a little closer to home. Which of these 6 are colognes for men? Your choices are Quip, Dinosaur, Zipped, Cigar, Lucky You, and Showdown.
Oh, my
3 of these
Lord.
are actual colognes for men.
I hate these.
Oh my God.
Cigar?
They all sound dumb, don't they? Yeah.
How can it be
Okay, so,
cigar? Can't be cigar.
The problem is when you feel really strongly, like you know one of
Yeah.
them for sure,
Yeah.
and that's the one that's been made up. That's why you feel like you know it's for sure.
Yeah.
Right. right.
Ew.
These all sound bad.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
I wouldn't want to put any of these on me. And I'm sure they're expensive, and I'm sure that people love them.
And you should have gotten the wrong 3 from Anchorman, by the way.
Yeah.
Right. Yes, exactly.
I still haven't seen that movie. I don't
Oh,
know
wow. Really?
Yeah, neither of them.
60% of the time, it works all the time.
I don't know why.
All right, you guys are both locked in. You both said Lucky You. And Lucky You is a Liz Claiborne cologne for men. Very good.
Yeah.
Zipped also is a cologne that's made by Performers Workshop for some reason. Dinosaur is just a dinosaur.
Ah, shit!
So the answers were Cigar, Lucky You, and Zipped. Cigar is made by the Remy Latour company. And why would you want to smell like a cigar? I don't know.
Kidding.
I'm not. It's probably a gag name though, right? Like that's not.
Probably not gag.
A
I'm
real-
guessing it's like the mystique of cigar smoking in your den. You're a man with a cigar. You know, it's that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
And then it's
I
probably
want you
real
to know
musky
you
and-
almost got me with Showdown, and I wonder if Scott thought that's probably close.
I
know,
almost
it sounds
chose.
like
Yeah, I almost chose that.
Stetson and yeah, like right from the makers of Stetson, Showdown.
I almost chose cigar because it sounded so impossible, and now I'm mad
Oh, really?
that I didn't.
Yeah.
Dinosaur.
For years and years, I wore Tommy Bahama, and their signature cologne is so great, and you just can't find it anymore. Like that's
They quit-
a company
They
that
quit making
that-
it, or what? What happened to them?
I think they still make it, but I can't. Like there aren't Tommy Bahama stores around anymore,
Yeah.
and like I don't know where to get it.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, Remy Latour's Cigar for Men, 1996, introduced in 1986, a blend of sandalwood and patchouli.
Oh,
Ooh.
sounds all right. I could
Yeah,
do that.
that's actually not bad.
Except for the patchouli. I
Yeah.
get enough of that at Red Rocks. I don't need to smell any more patchouli anymore, ever.
Yeah, patchouli is probably. Yeah, that's a good point. It depends on how strong it is, but that sounds okay. I think I could work.
Yeah.
When I was younger, it occurred to me that women really decided what men's colognes
Yes.
were. Like, so like, yeah,
For sure.
I would be, like hanging out with some friends, and the one I was most attracted to would say, I love Burberry Brit. And then the next thing I know, I'm wearing Burberry Brit.
Yep. Yep.
Remember when Polo was like, you basically, if you did not own Polo
Yeah.
cologne, you were hot garbage.
For us, it was Dracar Noir.
Oh,
right,
was it
yeah.
really? Okay,
That's a
so
big
polo
deal.
was a Colorado thing.
Oh yeah, we were that in high school. People had it by the gallons, man. It was
Wow.
the thing. I avoided it because I thought it was
Why?
way too cool, and I was being rebellious and thought it was cool not to like it. But everybody wore it except me and my nerd friends
Oh, funny.
because
Okay.
we were hipsters.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah. Stood out. Stood with your natural scent.
that's right.
All right, we're going into question number 3. Randy's got 3 points. Scott needs some catching up. So here's your chance to catch up. Languages on the Rosetta Stone, not the software. That's easy. You can figure out what software languages you can find with Rosetta Stone. No, the actual physical Rosetta Stone, which I think is sitting in the National Museum of in London, if I remember correctly. I've seen it. Your choices are Egyptian Demotic, Ancient Greek, Linear A, Hieroglyphics, Aramaic, and Sanskrit. Are languages you will actually find on.
Scott locked so fast. Wait a minute.
I'm going
Really
with 3.
did.
Oh, I'm screwed.
I'm going with 3 that I feel confident about.
Wow. Okay.
I'm probably wrong, but I'm going to give it all. I'm giving it all.
You had to, right? You kind of had to.
Yeah.
You had to go big or go home.
That's right. And I don't want to go
His
home.
choices.
I don't know.
Because I can see him making his choices as.
I don't know.
You get to see when stuff gets clicked, unclicked, clicked again, that kind of thing, right?
I do. I get to see the light. I think this may be the first time ever that between the two players, all 6 answers were chosen, which means
What?
yeah. So every single answer on the board has an option. Obviously, it doesn't mean one person's all right or one person's all wrong, because that easily could be half of one, half of the other.
That'd be a shame.
Scott, you went with Linear A, Aramaic, and Sanskrit. I don't even know what Linear A is. Randy, you went with Egyptian Demotic, Ancient Greek, and Hieroglyphics. We have a winner. Randy Deluxe chose the 3 correct ones. Scott chose the 3 incorrect ones.
I
Holy
swear we are
crap.
collaborating. I swear.
That's insane. Did you know this, or was this a guess? What did you do?
So I was made to study it in high school. Like
Really?
there was a poster of the Rosetta Stone in my sophomore high school English class.
Yeah.
And so I knew really, really well when you first put this up that Aramaic was not on the thing because Aramaic is the main thing for the main language for the Bible or whatever. Anyway, but it's just the rest was just guesses.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I'm
well
impressed.
done. Holy cow.
Yeah, nicely
Yeah,
done.
I've obviously we've seen the real Rosetta Stone, but I could not describe to you. I just remember it was black and it had a bunch of little carved out things on it. And I'm trying to figure out how do you have a bunch of languages on there? Is it all right, here's A, and here's how you do A in ancient Greek and Egyptian Demotic, and here's the hieroglyphic for
It must be,
things
right?
that A can stand for. Yeah.
It must be. I'm still blown away that even exists. That thing.
What I remember about it is that it goes from a much larger size font, that's not the word, but
Right.
a much larger script to a really tiny one at the bottom.
Yes.
and it
Okay. I do
gradually
remember
gets
that. Yeah.
And it looks to me like somebody was late writing their essay, and they were
They didn't leave enough time or enough writing for the whole thing. Oh yeah, I'm looking at a picture of it right now. That whole top section, the big font, as you say. Yeah, I wonder, that might be hieroglyphics, and then the next chunk is much, much smaller. Dang, somebody, this is before you could go to CVS and pick up a pair of readers like I'm wearing on my face.
That's true. For a couple of bucks. Those are
Yeah.
What they do back then. Only the really well sighted people could use the Rosetta
That's right.
Stone.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, it's 6-point type. Well, awesome.
All right.
Well done, Randy. You've won for that. Oh wait, I should play you a thing.
Congratulations. You're a winner.
This is for me though. Who gets the prizes, Brian?
Yeah, Michael Zwart, you are getting a copy of Bendy and the Dark Revival and Pathologic 2. I know nothing about either of those games, but by golly, they sound fun.
Yeah, they sound great.
But Juan Toro, I feel like you might be the real winner here. You're getting a copy of Alan Wake's Collector's Edition.
Oh, yeah.
So nobody leaves empty-handed. You guys both get pretty darn good games for basically what? Typing your name in a form, in a Google form.
You did
done.
nothing.
Really worked hard for it.
No work at all. Piece of cake. It's the
Jeez.
easiest thing you've ever done. Congratulations.
Yeah.
You
Well,
lazy mother.
Speaking of Egyptian writing, either of you play Immortals: Phoenix Rising?
Yes. Love that
Loved
game.
it.
Yeah.
That game is so inexpensive on Epic right now. I don't know why I'm advertising for them.
People should grab it. If you don't already own that game, I bought it in 2 places. Is how much I like, because I like the cross save they did. But that game deserves a follow up. I could not be more pissed at Ubisoft for canceling it, because they're not going to do it now. It didn't make enough money.
Really?
Yeah, they canceled the sequel they were making, and it pisses me the hell off, because that game is rad. And let me tell you the main reason it's rad. It's like, what if you took the best things about Breath of the Wild, but didn't break the weapons all the time?
Right.
Loved it. It was great, and it was actually funny, like the stuff between Zeus and what's his name that would narrate through the game as you ran around?
Oh yeah,
Sarcophanes or whatever his name was.
Something. Yeah.
So good, and that's hard.
Good puzzles, good fighting. Like the bosses were tricky to battle and stuff.
Yeah.
That's the last game that I finished. Actually, the last game I played. Oh no, I take that back. Breath of the Wild. No, I never beat the final boss on Breath of the Wild.
You beat Tears of the Kingdom, though, didn't you?
I'm sorry, Tears of the Kingdom. Yeah. No, I didn't beat the final boss of Tears of the Kingdom.
Oh,
I beat all of the bosses that lead to the last boss, but then Spider-Man came out that week, and I said, bye-bye. Yeah. Bye-bye, Link.
That's what happens. Well, all right, Randy, you've been a fine stand-in today. You've done a great work here, and it's nice to have you in the wings when needed. You want to say anything to the people at home?
Have a really great week. Don't shoot yourself with biscuits, and I'll see you on Wednesday.
Bye now. See you later, Ring Belly. We're going to call him Old Ring Belly Randy.
Old Ring Belly.
Ring Belly Randy.
All right. Good.
Well done, everyone. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Let's do some quick news. It's time for the news, brought to you by
Film Sack, where we just took a look at 1989's Slacker, the first real movie from Richard Linklater. How's it hold up? Well, tune in and find out, and maybe get a free Madonna Pap smear in the process. Go to filmsack.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
You think we're making up that Pap smear thing? It's in the movie. It's featured. It's in the movie. Okay. Yeah. We didn't make it up. We're not being sexist. We're not being weird and gross. It's just in there. Okay. Even a lady says it. The drummer for the Butthole Surfers says it.
That's right. Exactly. Tries to sell it.
Yeah. She thinks you might be interested. It's weird, that movie.
The movie had a great concept, and had a great concept. Yeah.
It did. It was about an hour and a half too long.
Yeah.
But it had moments.
It had its moments.
I appreciate it for what it did and what it was and when it was. But
yeah, I really liked the guy with the conspiracy theory guy. Oh wait, that was 2/3 of the movie.
That was everyone.
Yeah.
No, the one in the bookstore. I'm serious. Put him on a list. Keep your eye on that guy. I don't trust that guy.
That's a guy that has to introduce himself to the neighbors every time he moves.
Of course. Let's move on to the story here. We're going to tell the story of DC firefighter has been fired. They fired a DC firefighter in DC.
Oh, no.
After stopping for a ChickFilA while on an emergency call. We're getting a lot of these lately.
What kind of Pokemon is a ChickFilA?
It does sound like one. If we weren't used to that name, that would easily be a Pokemon name.
It totally easily could be, right? Yeah.
Oh,
I got a shiny ChickFilA.
What do you think what do they evolve into? A Popeye?
They evolve into a Cane's.
A Cane's, yeah. Ooh, I got a Raising Cane.
A Raising Cane. Oh, it evolved into a Raising Cane's.
That's
actually
amazing.
That would be the top level. Then Popeyes would be the middle level. So it evolved first into a Popeyes and then into a Raising Cane's at the end.
Although of those three,
yeah,
I still prefer the basic chicken sandwich. I prefer Popeyes of all of them.
Yeah, I do too.
Now both have other things that I would prefer over other Popeyes things, but that one item, I think Popeyes has an amazing chicken sandwich.
Oh boy, they over by us, they are building a ChickFilA over on Youngfield, and they're putting it's in the parking lot basically, or in this shopping center that also has a Hobby Lobby right behind it.
Whoa.
So So if you're looking for a place to avoid gay people, make sure to go to the parking lot that has both a Hobby Lobby and a ChickFilA in it.
You can get your chicken and you can get your crafts and no gays. Right?
And no gays.
Yeah, no gays at all. Although I still love that our local ChickFilA over here hired on purpose. The franchise owners hired like 2 or 3 gay kids to work there. Not on not like, oh, we got to hurry up and hire some gay kids.
I'm sorry, you're not gay. We're only looking for gay kids right now.
Yeah, because they were just like, they were feeling rebellious and wanted to stick it to corporate. DC firefighter is in trouble. He was with his partner. They stopped for fast food while on an emergency call in March. He has been terminated from his job, not from life. He wasn't killed. You can't say terminated, without
Sarah Connor's son. No, it was just yeah.
He's more like, I forgot his name. Who did Sean Bean or Michael Bean play? What was his character? Reese. He's more like Reese.
Reese, yeah.
2 firefighters, EMTs, assigned to an ambulance number 3. They stopped for this thing in Northeast D.C. at around 4 p.m. on March 24th instead of responding to a call for a woman suffering chest pain at a Kaiser Permanente about a mile away.
Jeez.
And we don't have Kaiser Permanente here because we're all IHC here, but that's like they have clinics and it's that kind of thing, right? Okay.
Yeah, and if she's, in defense of the firefighter, if she's already at a Kaiser Permanente, what do they need firefighters for? What do they need EMTs for?
That's probably what they thought.
She's at a hospital.
Yeah.
she's at the place that the EMTs usually take them.
My guess is it was like a clinic style where they didn't have all the stuff.
Yeah, that's true, because some of them just have like a little urgent care clinic and no other real big facilities.
But I could see that firefighter going, it's a Kaiser Permanente. We got time.
I don't know. I mean,
I'm not saying he's right.
I'm really not defending him, but yeah, I think you can wait for lunch.
Yeah.
You've taken this job, and you've taken this job with the knowledge that it supersedes anything else. Hunger, having to pee, having to poop, tired, any of that stuff. You do that first, and then you can do all your other things. But
well, he is now officially no longer. This is the official word, quote, no longer with the department, unquote.
Well, he's got time for all the chicken and biscuits he wants.
Yeah, everything you want, it's all yours there, buddy.
Yeah.
Ape Fest happened. Have you heard of Ape Fest, Brian?
No, I have not heard of Ape Fest.
Well, I wish it was like people who studied primates or something like that. You get, what's her name, Fosse to come and do a keynote speech. And
sure.
Is it Diane Fosse?
Diane Fosse, yes.
You get Sigourney Weaver talking about her movie Gorillas in the Mist, whatever.
That's right. Yes.
That's not what this is. This is people who bought those stupid Bored Ape NFTs.
Oh, geez. Really? So they figured out a way to make more money from those people.
Oh, my gosh, dude. It's such a scam. Ape Fest attendees report vision problems and extreme pain after the event. And here's why. Attendees of Yuga Labs Ape Fest, which happened on November 4th in Hong Kong, that's where it was held this year. I guess there have been multiples of these. Have reported burns, damaged vision, and extreme pain in their eyeballs, which they attribute to the use of improper lighting. Somebody on Twitter posted, for example, woke up in the middle of the night after Ape Fest with such pain in my eyes that I had to go to the hospital, wrote one attendee, Crypto June.
Oh.
Yeah, Crypto June.
Crypto June, yeah.
I mean, I'm trying. Look, I want to feel bad for eyes are precious. We need them.
Of course, yes. I mean, we feel bad for the people in their eyes, but we don't feel we don't feel bad for the fact that their Bored Ape NFTs are not going to be worth the paper they're not printed on in 5 years.
Yeah, I don't care at all about that. Yeah. Doctor told this person, quote, it was due to UV from the stage lights. I go to festivals often, but I've never experienced this. It says one attendee noted many of those reporting eye problems were up in the up close area near this lighting display near the event's main stage. Neither Ape Fest guest, who goes by the name or the pseudonym Feld on X. It screws me up when they say X. They mean Twitter.
I know, me too. Yeah.
Described identical symptoms. Quote, anyone else eyes burning from last night? Woke up at 3 a.m. with extreme pain and ended up in the ER. In Hong Kong, where you don't know English or you don't know Mandarin or whatever.
Oh yeah, no kidding. Oh God, yeah, that'd be the worst. So yeah, like when I have a UV curing light for my 3D prints, right? So after they come out, wash them off in an alcohol bath, take them out, let them dry, and then put them in the UV, a little UV turntable that cures them the rest of the way.
Yeah.
And that's got a shield that goes over it that this thing won't run unless that shield is on there. So obviously, UV, not a thing that you want burning in your eyes at any level. And the fact they had this on stage and had some pointed at the audience, dumbasses.
Yeah, dumb.
Just
so dumb. Why were they think? I mean, there are other ways to do colorful, interesting lighting.
Sure.
Don't UV light. I mean, the whole reason people have to wear sunglasses in the sun and like also put on sunscreen and shit and not die. What are you doing?
UV protection. Exactly.
Yeah. These ape people, they don't know what they're doing. I would trust an ape more than I would these people.
Than someone who buys a Bored Ape NFT.
Yeah.
For sure.
Or goes to Ape Fest. Good Lord.
Yeah.
Scientists have created a chimeric monkey with 2 sets of DNA. They found one set in the jungle, and they found the other set in an axe-throwing place in California. Recently, just like yesterday. Yeah, it's crazy.
What?
So he's half Ibit. Scientists based in China have created a monkey chimera.
California?
Didn't I say Colorado? I thought I said Colorado. Did I not?
No, you said California. That's why I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, I got my C states mixed up. They created a monkey chimera with 2 sets of DNA, experimental work that they say could ultimately benefit medical research and the conservation of endangered species. The monkey, which lived for 10 days before being euthanized. Why? Let him live. Why'd you kill the moe?
I don't know. Maybe there was a reason. Maybe there was some pain it was going through or something because of its mixed genetics.
He was a very bored ape, and they wanted.
He was a bored ape.
It was made by combining stem cells from a cynomolgus monkey.
Cynomolgus.
Molgus. I should say that. Also known as a crab-eating or long-tailed macaque. Macaque.
Come on now.
I wanted to make that right.
I know.
Away.
You wanted to try to pronounce it.
Macaque.
Yeah. Listen, when you get these words that can be said like this, you got to take advantage of every opportunity.
Yeah, it should just say it. Let's see. A primate used in biomedical research, which genetically distinct embryo from the same monkey species in the world's first live birth of a primate chimera created with 2 stem cells, or with stem cells. It's a proof of concept. It was a study thing. I still think you ought to let the monkey live if he was okay.
I mean, exactly. If there had to be a reason that they euthanized it. Because otherwise, I mean, obviously they'd want to keep it alive to study it and see how it develops and stuff like that. So there must have been a reason.
Must be. They don't say in here though.
I mean,
anyone out there in that
business?
They
had to euthanize Brundlefly, so they'll have to euthanize the monkey.
That's true. Poor
monkey.
Brundlefly. Help me. That's from the first movie. All right. We're going to now take a break. When we come back from this break, we'll get an actual person who really is into science. Okay?
Cool.
He's not a scientist so much as he is a science enthusiast, but
he's more of a science-ist.
Scientist. There you go.
He's a scientist.
Yeah. Then you could hear that and mishear it almost and think he might be a scientist, and it's still
right.
Cool.
Exactly. Yes.
I like that. Anyway, he's coming up after this break. We're going to do a little song. Brian, do the song. What's the song?
Yeah, this one came to us from Hey Clown Baby. Got a couple of requests that were indie in the middles this week. So this is the first of them. Hey Clown Baby says, "Hello, you 2 beautiful bastards. I have an indie in the middle request. I went to college with the lead singer and founder of The Fae, Zach, in Lincoln, Nebraska. It was always a great time going to his live shows, and I figured I'd give him some love by promoting his music. The song was recorded in LA, but he does most of his work in Omaha. I already messaged him and he gave me permission to play his music. He actually even picked this song, Wolf of the Wild, to be played on the show. Love the show though. Hey Clown Baby."
Nice.
This is great. This is The Fae. This is from the 2021 album Palm Tree Shade. If you like this, make sure to check out more of their music. The Fae spelled F-E-Y, The Fae, and Wolf of the Wild.
Is it possible for you guys to do what you got to do without talking so much?
You never saw such a sick bunch of men in your life.
And we're back. Hey, who was that one more time?
That's The Fae and a song called Wolf of the Wild from their album Palm Tree Shade.
Excellent.
Ain't it, though?
Ain't
it?
That's the best shade, dude.
It is palm tree shade because you know if you're someplace that's got palm trees, you're already winning. And then you're in the shade, double win.
My buddy Darren is in. Well, I guess he's on a boat. He's on a cruise, but I think he's gonna get out in like Mexican places with palm trees. I wish I was him right now. That'd be nice.
Me too. Yeah.
It's getting cold here. Not as cold as it is in the hearts of Southerners. No, it's not. I'm making all that up. Let's just play his intro. Here it is.
Science.
Bob is hungry, and the soup looks good.
That Bob in question is Bobby Frankenburger.
Yes.
The best burger in the tri-state area or something to that effect. Bobby, it's nice to see you. How the heck are you? What's going on over there?
Does every state have a tri-state area, and is it?
No.
I bet Hawaii doesn't have a tri-state area.
I know that New Mexico, Arizona, and is Utah part of that? I'm not sure, but there's some place out here where you can stand right where they all meet, and it's like a little corner thing, and they have like a whole. It's not.
Well,
like
you're talking about Four Corners, right?
Yeah, Four Corners. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
of. That's sort of. Well, that'd be quad state.
Quad state.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, exactly. No, like some states have like what was it? Indiana, Ohio. There's like some tri-state.
They're the main tri-state, right?
Are they? Is that
I think
2 of the 3? What would be the other one? Indiana,
I don't know.
Ohio and Michigan.
I don't know this. Maybe they should just always say, like, if there's 3, just say for every 3 states. So me and Brian and up in, let's say, I don't know, Montana. There's our tri-state. That's the tri-state area.
All right, so I've got a list. There are a lot of tri-state areas. So the New York tri-state area is New York, New Jersey, Connecticut.
That's the one.
Sometimes Pennsylvania, part of that. The Philadelphia tri-state area, which is Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Delaware.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh tri-state area, which kind of the same. Pennsylvania, Ohio, West Virginia. Erie, the Mini-Sink, the Berkshires, Massachusetts, Connecticut, and New York.
So Pennsylvania belongs to multiple tri-state areas?
It does, yeah.
Wow.
The New York tri-state area and the Philadelphia tri-state area.
Wow, that's cool.
They love their tri-stateness.
Yeah.
Chicago tri-state area, which is Indiana, Wisconsin, and Illinois.
Yeah.
There's a lot of these tri-state areas. So I guess it's basically where you've got states where there's
3
a
of
city.
them.
Well, I mean, there again, aside from Alaska and Hawaii, every state
butts up
touches
against
more
enough.
than one other state, right?
Right.
So it's basically where you've got 3 states that connect, and there's a fairly major city nearby, and then you call it a tri-state area.
That must
Does
be
it
it.
seem
The reason I also
more
think there's a
than one
reason
other?
they don't do it out here in the West is because we're sprawled too much. It's not easy to say there's an area. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like even that Four Corners thing is kind of out in the middle of nowhere, right?
Oh, does Maine doesn't touch more than one state?
Nope,
right?
just
Maine
touches
only
New Hampshire.
just touches New Hampshire, right? Okay.
Inappropriately though, in a way that
Can you show me on the map where
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 Maine
New
touched
Hampshire
you?
touched you?
Yeah, exactly. Well, anyway, Bobby, that's not what we're here to talk about today. We're going to talk about some science stuff. Before we get to what you brought, though, can I play you a thing that I thought was interesting? Are you down with that?
Of course you can.
All right. So this is just some audio.
It's your show.
This is some audio about how this is now what scientists believe, according to the Sandia National Laboratories. They believe that this is what T-Rexes sound like now. All right.
Oh, great.
So just for comparison, I meant to bring this up. Let me do it real quick. Let's play the Jurassic Park T-Rex roar. Oh, that music's so good. Even you doing that makes me excited.
Oh yeah.
So here is the sex, or this is the biggest roar from the T-Rex.
Okay.
All right, that's what we were told. We've thought for years this is the sound. That's what we're going to have, and that's what we think. And even that, at the time, I remember Spielberg saying in an interview, they were trying to approximate stuff based on current knowledge of vocal cord stuff and things that we knew then.
Did
but
he
we've
really
learned
say
more.
that? Because I remember watching a documentary where they were just like, well, we took an elephant and we mixed it with a lion, and
well, maybe they lied to him because he was told that he said this in some DVD thing or something because
okay.
they wanted.
Well, maybe they were trying to approximate it by using other animals.
Right, exactly. So you get there however you get there. But now this is what they think, and I have now lost all respect for T-Rexes. Here's what they think they sound like now. Not that part. Oh, hold on.
Is it laughing?
The thing is, there's like a big.
Hold on, I think that T-Rex wants to merge. Better let it in.
Do you know how there's birds that do like weird like that? There's stuff moving. Yeah. They think that's what's going on with the T-Rex now. And
wow,
there's a whole bunch more info about it, but. It's really hard to. That reminds me of that burping guy we had all those years ago. Brian.
Yes, that's what it sounded like. that guy.
Yeah. Don't worry, Jeannie. We won't play the file. But anyway, I just thought that was interesting. We'd share that.
That's great.
So
that
feathers.
Really interesting.
Now they got feathers. Now they got this voice. What's
next?
I
think the way they do that is they get like as complete a skull as they can, and then they try to figure out how it resonates, and they blow air through things. And stuff like that.
It makes sense, right? Like that they would have. We should be able to approximate that stuff better now than ever. And so I'll take their word for it, but I'm not going to be scared by that. I'm just going to hear that and go, dude.
No, it just sounds like my sister-in-law when she blows her nose.
Wow,
it's just really.
I have an image of your sister-in-law that I will try not to share with anyone now that you've said it. Bobby, what did you bring to the science table today? What are we doing?
Well, I have a quick thing to start with, and then I want to get into another thing. We'll see how long we have for the second thing. But the first thing I just noticed in Discord somebody tagged me. I can't remember who it was. I think it was Andy W5x5. You know who that is? Yeah. Anyway, saw an article about a black hole that was expelled from a galaxy and was flying through the universe at like breakneck speeds, and was like asked, "What is this about?" But we covered it on our show, All Around Science, a little while ago, and it was it's a pretty interesting story. Just real fast, it was Hubble found a supermassive black hole that was not in a galaxy at all. It was just a rogue supermassive black hole. And for context, supermassive black holes are usually those black holes that they know now are at the center of almost every galaxy.
Yeah.
So it's weird to find it by itself. But not only did they find it by itself, but it was going through flying through the universe super fast enough to go from the moon to the Earth in 14 minutes. It's 5.6 million kilometers per hour.
Oh my gosh.
And that's really, really fast. In fact, it was they saw it because they were able to see that it was creating like compression waves in gas that it was going through. So it was just really fast going through stuff. And but the way they noticed it at first was all this image. They saw a trail of what were stars flying behind it. There's like this weird line, this weird trail of stars following behind it.
That doesn't seem cataclysmic at all. Like it's a bad thing. You know,
right.
Like, man, that sounds like if this thing's got enough gravitational pull and velocity to yank a bunch of stars with it.
Well, here's the really interesting thing about it is, because that's your first thought, right? Is, oh, it's pulling a bunch of stars with it.
Yeah.
But what they found is that, and this is even cooler to me, is that the reason there's a trail of stars behind it is because this black hole passes through like gases and nebula in the universe, and it's moving so fast and it's got so much gravity, and it creates these compression waves that it actually causes stars to be born. So that trail of stars is not being dragged along with it. It's just literally like as it passes by, it causes a star to form.
He's just farting out stars as it goes. You know, it's like It's like Shawshank Redemption and Brooks going through handing people books from the cart. It's just like, here,
really,
that's right. You get a star, and you get a star, and you get a star.
There you go. Wow.
Just going, leaving new baby stars in his wake. But I just thought that was really interesting and thought I'd mention it because it's pretty cool. They think it was expelled. Why was it not with a galaxy? They think it was part of a binary black hole system that was in a galaxy, and then another galaxy came and smacked into it. And so there are three black holes in a system together. It would just be too much. One of them got launched out.
Okay, so literally flung it out of there because of the forces at play. Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome, actually. I mean, like, you're talking about the most cosmic scale thing I think we've ever talked about on here. That's massive.
Well, let's kick it up a notch.
Okay. What? Bigger than that?
Bigger than that? What?
So there's a paper that was released. I think it was first written earlier in the year, but it's made its way into Archive, the preprint server that a lot of papers go into. So this caveat: this paper has not been fully peer reviewed yet. But the idea is that some scientists are describing what they think might have been a second Big Bang that happened only about a month after the Big Bang we know about, and they think this second Big Bang might be what's responsible for creating all the dark matter in the universe.
Okay.
So what is dark matter? Real quick, dark matter. Well, it's tough to talk about dark matter because we actually don't know what it is.
What do we think it is?
Yeah, but what we do know about it is that it does not. It's something out there that interacts with all the matter that we can see gravitationally, very strongly. But it does not interact with electromagnetic radiation, which is why we call it dark matter, because we can't see it. Electromagnetic radiation includes light, X-rays, everything on the electromagnetic spectrum, which is what all of our telescopes, be either radio telescopes or just visual telescopes, they all are detecting stuff on the electromagnetic spectrum, right? Mm-hmm. But dark matter doesn't interact with other matter in that way. And so we can't see it, but we can see the effects of it, right? It was the term was first coined back in the 30s when Fritz Zwicky, which is a great scientist name, Fritz Zwicky just noticed that there was a cluster of galaxies that were all orbiting together, like this galaxy cluster was moving together, but when he did the math, there shouldn't have been enough stuff for those galaxies to hold together. In fact, after he crunched all the numbers, he found that of the observable matter in this galaxy cluster, it would only account for like 1% of the forces necessary to hold the cluster together.
Oh.
And so he, back in the 30s, proposed some kind of matter that had to have been there, that must have been exerting very large gravitational forces, and he called it dunkle materie, or dunkle materie.
Okay. I think you nailed it. I'm sure you nailed it. Yeah. I'll have to go check Wiki or Zikipedia, or whatever that guy would be on.
Zwikipedia. But yeah, this is German for dark matter. So he did that, and then Vera Rubin later came by, and she was a scientist in the 70s who collected tons and tons of data from 60 different galaxies and confirmed that dark matter must be everywhere because all of these galaxies were rotating. The outer arms of these spiral galaxies were rotating far faster than they should have been, and the only way to account for that must be that there's other stuff in the galaxies causing them.
Stuff we can't see, right?
Stuff we can't see, right?
Yeah.
And we still can't see it, and we don't.
How come we don't have instrumentation at all that can see it yet, right? We're still in the dark.
Until very recently.
Okay.
So the only way that this seems to interact with matter is gravitationally, right? That's the only way we even know about it. That's the only thing we know the only force that it seems to be able to exert on the matter that we can see. So theoretically, we might be able to detect it with gravitational wave detectors, which are a very new thing, right?
New. Yeah.
And that's what this paper actually proposes. Not only does it propose that there's a second Big Bang that may have caused all of the dark matter, because that's a big question, right? Like, if it doesn't interact with regular matter, then how was it even made in the first place? Right? Because it has no interaction with regular matter. Right. So all the ways that we can
what can happen to cause its creation or produce it?
Right, exactly. Because how did that happen? And it's kind of been like ham-fistedly suggested that maybe at a certain point early on in the universe's creation after the Big Bang, things cooled down enough and it just sort of like fell out of all the stuff. But that's not really been a very satisfactory explanation, because they're just like, well, maybe it just happened.
Yeah.
So these the authors of this paper propose that it's entirely possible that another Big Bang happened about at a certain point in the universe's creation where conditions might have allowed it to happen. And the reason that this is so in order for this to work, there has to be also another field of energy that holds dark matter, and they call it the dark field. And so in order so if that does exist, then it's possible that this other Big Bang happened that created that dark field, and then dark matter came out of it. The reason it's a good theory, they think, is that it would explain why it doesn't interact with matter.
Yeah.
And it would explain how it could be possible if it doesn't interact with matter, because it was an entirely separate event.
Right.
But that's really all they were able to do with it. A lot of the math checks out to make it possible, but it's not really. The tough thing is it testable? And they do think that it is testable, because if it did happen this way, it would have created gravitational signatures in the sort of gravitational background waviness of the universe, and those signatures can be predicted mathematically, and we should be able to detect them, because if we can predict what it should look like, then we can try to look for it, right?
That's some of that calculatable determinism stuff that I've been getting into lately. Not the everything's determined theory. I mean, like,
right.
If we have the right math, then you can accurately predict all sorts of shit. And I love that.
Right, and that's cool. Important for how science works, right?
Right.
Science isn't collecting a bunch of data and then looking for something interesting in the data. That's backwards. The way science works is that we, based on what we can see, we make a hypothesis, and we figure out what would be the way we would test that hypothesis, and then we go and look for it. We try to confirm or deny the hypothesis.
Right.
We can't confirm one, but you at least try to prove it wrong. And if
Sure.
you can't prove it wrong, then there's a good chance that it might be right.
Right. Then you keep moving down the path and finding out other reasons why it should get in the way. I mean, I'm sure that there's, finding out where maybe dark matter came from and that it is there is one thing, right?
Right.
But then when we get better and better at understanding it and exploring it, I'm sure there are answers we have no questions for yet. Like a lot of stuff in science, it's like,
or questions we don't even know to ask yet.
Right. Right. Until sometimes learning more opens the door, and then we're like, oh, okay, well now how come that's true then? Right. I love it. My astrophysicist obsession in the last month or so continues unabated. I'm into it. So I'm really glad you brought this.
The universe abounds with incredible things that we have yet to discover, and it's so interesting, I think, to find new stuff that we don't understand, because we sit in this. I think probably every generation and all along the way has probably thought this, but we feel like we're sitting in this particular space and time when we're like, well, there's nothing left to figure out.
Yeah.
Like we've got it all figured out, but it's clear, and and maybe we live in a unique, a relatively unique time in that sense, because everything, science and technology and everything advances so quickly. It's almost like hard to say that we figured it all out, because we see at such a rapid pace new things being discovered.
And not just new things getting discovered, but new things that contradict things that we previously believed, or at least augment or change the things that we previously believed. So yeah,
I love that.
The phrase exact science isn't such an exact thing anymore.
It doesn't exist.
No kidding. But yeah, with all these new gravitational wave detectors, as those get more accurate and better, then presumably we'd be able to one day test it. We can't test it yet. We don't have the like they've done the math and they know what you would need to look for, and we just don't have the resolution to see the signature that would be there if this actually happened. But when we finally get there, they'll presumably start looking for it.
Sure. Well, when we get there, if it's in the lifespan of the morning stream, we'll talk about it here on the show.
Talk about right
exactly.
here.
But there's other stuff.
News.
We'll fill it in with other stuff in the meantime. Don't worry.
And if the morning stream's not, we'll just reboot the morning stream.
Yeah, we'll reboot it. We'll let AI run it. We'll all be dead by then, but it's fine.
True. Yeah, good point.
It's true.
Sure.
Whatever.
Just like the Seinfeld show.
Yeah. I hear they're
Right, yep,
I heard they're this is so funny you brought that up. There's talk that they're actually going to do a reunion short series. Like the show's
way.
going to
Really?
they're going to get Elaine, George, Kramer and
Is
Jerry.
Kramer going to be there?
Yeah, they're bringing Kramer.
I know, right?
He just published a book called I forget. I'm sure he addresses that thing in it.
Oh, he better. Yeah.
His N-word statement.
It's like the
surprising
only
if he
reason
doesn't-
people are going to read that book, right?
Exactly.
Is to see if he mentions
Yes.
Yeah. But I don't know. They could maybe pull it off. You get the right people in charge. Maybe Larry David pops over and helps. I don't know.
It would have to be, yeah, because I felt like we got good closure with the Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Well, that's what I was thinking.
season.
Is why
Yeah.
I always feel like it's not necessary because Curb Your Enthusiasm is kind of a Seinfeld anyway,
Yeah.
and B, they did Seinfeld on that show, so
And they also
Yeah.
absolutely addressed and had a great time with Michael Richards' stage mess.
Yes.
And
Right.
they handled it really well. And the fact that Leon was there and was part of that was amazing. And like they really did a good job.
Are they so impressed with the success of the Frasier sequel that
How's that going? Is it? I've heard it was all right. Is it bad?
Oh, really? Oh, I haven't heard anything good about it, but I'm guessing maybe it's that I haven't heard much about it.
Yeah, I guess there just hasn't been a lot of talk. I haven't heard a lot about it either. Well, anyway, that's a fun way to end a science discussion. Bobby, tell people where All Around Science can be found so that people can get more of your thoughts in their head.
Oh, do we even need to tell people where podcasts are found anymore? You can find my
Yes.
podcast, right, All Around Science. Me and my co-host Maura, we talk about science every week, science news, science stuff, just whatever we feel like talking about because we just love science, and that is just everywhere that you get podcasts. Just search All Around Science. We just talked about. I just did a whole thing on allergies. What are allergies and how are allergies different than food like sensitivities
Sure.
and intolerances and stuff like that.
Right.
And
That's a good distinction because some people, I have a reaction if I have really a certain kind of hot pepper, but then other kinds of hot peppers don't bother me at all. I wouldn't call that an allergy.
Yeah,
I'd call that
jalapenos make
sensitivity.
me hiccup.
Yeah.
And,
oh, that's right. We've talked about that.
Really?
You get hiccups from it.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
I get hiccups from jalapenos, but not from habaneros or ghost peppers or any other serranos.
Yeah.
Or
I get
anything
hiccups
else.
when people say Japalinos, and then I get hiccups when they just say it.
Really? Yeah.
I go into a hiccup fit, and it takes all night.
So that makes me my eyes roll.
Weird.
Straight into the back of my head. Yeah.
That's like a
It's a medical
sensitivity or
condition.
something. But yeah, no, that sounds
Something,
interesting because there are distinctions there, and I think it's good for people to know those.
For sure.
I had this kid who I knew as a kid, when he was a kid. His name was Jared Kirby, really cool kid. But he had severe peanut allergies, like really bad. 2-3 trips to the ER. Like his childhood was riddled with make sure there are no peanuts anywhere near him. And then around 18, 19, poof, gone. Something changed in his metabolism somewhere. Something. No one saw it as miraculous. We just were like, well, I guess whatever you grew up into, you're fine now. So you can eat peanuts now. You can touch them.
They can come and go.
It's weird, man.
I have a cousin who is severely allergic to milk, and it's the same thing. If there's like even a tiny bit of, it's not just milk, it's any dairy.
Yeah.
And there's a tiny bit of cheese particle or something on a spoon. Like everything has to be and that's not the same as lactose intolerance.
Right.
For reasons that we talk about.
But you're a little bit more,
Interesting.
going on there.
That's what I get. Yeah.
Yeah, Brian gets
crop
the-
dusted snowbird.
Yep, they still talk about it up there as a legend.
They do. Yeah. Well, there's still parts of snowbird you can't go into.
Yeah,
that
you're
are
not
blocked
allowed.
off by yellow tape.
There's a whole east wing, and you can't get
There's
in
like
there.
a plaque.
That's right. Exactly.
on
Yeah.
the wall.
Right.
Yeah, commemorating it, like wartime
It's like-
memorials, all that
Yeah.
stuff.
It's like Ernest Hemingway slept here. Brian
Yeah.
Ibbett farted here.
Farted here, and and it never left. Bobby, have a fantastic rest of your science week, and may World of Warcraft treat you well, because I know you're playing right now.
Oh yeah. That's
Bye now.
been
Never stopped.
I know, never. He never really did stop. He kept playing.
No, he and Alex and their raid team, which I had such a great time with. Actually 3 raid teams that I had such a good time with, and they were the most recent of the 3. And when I come back to WoW, and I probably will at some point, those are the guys I'm going to be looking up. I'm looking you guys up.
Looking up your skirt. Let's go.
See if you'll let me back in. Can I please come back in and hit monsters with my stabbies?
Can I hug the floor for most of the fight? Would that be okay?
Can I use my ketchup packets on my character and join your raid team?
I love that they called them ketchup packets.
Ketchup packets.
Yeah, it was really great.
Fantastic.
Okay, we are at the end of things, the end of times, end times.
Yeah.
But
end times.
We should check in on him. He's probably just doing.
We should check in on Third Eagle, make sure he's hasn't gone to that big leopard in the sky.
Yeah, probably. He still just does rosary crap, right?
Yeah, it really turned into just literally phoning it in.
Yeah. Let's take a look here. Third Eagle. Yeah, Pray Mary, mugshot heard around the world. Oh, that was 2 months ago. Oh, he's slacking on his updates.
Oh, really? Oh, no.
Yeah, 2 months.
You think we're ever going to get another song from him?
I mean, let's hope not. Let's hope never. Yeah. Maybe. Anyway, let's tell you a couple things here. Quick text from, did we get a name? Yeah, Brian from Waxahachie, Texas.
Something like Waxahachie.
Waxahachie, Texas.
Waxahachie.
Something like that.
I don't know how to pronounce that. Something like that.
He says, hello, my name is Brian from that place in Texas, and I have a question for the show. Do you say higher and higher the same way? Well, clearly I do.
Right. Yeah, higher is in the this building is higher than this other building, and higher, can you hire me for that job?
Right.
Those 2 hires. For those of you who are other than Scott and me listening to what we're saying. I'm not reading it.
He says don't. I think he means you don't.
Yeah.
But I know
I don't. I think he's saying I don't, but I don't know how to explain the difference.
He put the word do. It's one of those English, it's like 2 and 2 and 2. Like
not for me. I think cuz higher is 2 syllables.
Oh, like and higher.
The comparison is 2 syllables, and higher is supposed to be 1 syllable. So I say higher and higher.
Higher. I don't know if I can make myself do it.
Exactly. Higher. Oh, this. Boy, we sure get higher in Colorado than any other states. By the way, I'm trying to get hired for the dispensary down the street.
Well, let's combine them. Let's say I want to test your weed at your weed company. So you're going to hire me to get higher.
Yeah, but you definitely do HIRE as a 2-syllable.
I totally do, yeah. Absolutely do. I'd never noticed it before, but I guess I do.
We're trying to hire an intern for the show. Just got to make sure that they're not higher than higher than.
It's another one of these H words done away with as hara, whatever he does.
Hara, yeah. Because I mean, for me, it sounds like I'm talking about a sex worker. Horror. I don't like horror movies except for Clute and Leaving Las Vegas.
Yeah, those are good. Hua.
2 great horror movies.
That's amazing. We got some confusion from Michael in an email. That last thing was a text, 801-471-0462. Here's an email from Michael. There's some confusion. He says, Scott, feel free to read this on the show. On episode 2543, you and Brian were talking about cremation and then proceed to mention about your cremated remains being fed to old people in the form of brownies. Where did this sick joke come from? And is it actually not a joke? Love the show, bro. Michael. No, it's no joke.
It's no joke.
To be, I mean, I don't really want this. All right, you want the truth? I don't really want this. But I kind of
want it.
Yeah, I kind of do. I like the idea of my ashes being mixed in with a beautiful batch of brownies. I don't mean bad brownies.
Sure.
I mean like a really great, best recipe we can find.
Only the best brownies.
Best brownies. And then feed them to the old people at the old folks' home.
We'll serve them to the people at the GOP conference. And that'll be delicious because they're made from the best buns.
You guys doing all right in the chat? You guys all right?
I'm waiting.
Yeah.
Usually, it's a good way to see how long our delay is because I could do the voice and then count to 7 and then start seeing the. Yep, there it is right there from Rainbow Bright and Genie and
yeah, they hate it. All right. Well, anyway, Michael, no, that is the thing I've said. I don't actually want to. I think there's legality issues. There's definitely a legal issue here. I don't think I'm not going to make whoever I leave in this planet, if it's my kids or my wife or whatever, I'm not going to make them do this. It's illegal for them to do this. I just like
but here's
the idea.
deal. What you have to do is give each of them a job that doesn't involve the other children. So Taylor's job will be to take your body to the crematorium and have have it put into a container. Maybe not an urn, but a container.
Okay.
Then that urn will be, or that container will be left somewhere, and it'll be Carter's job to come pick up that box of powder and take it to Nick. Nick will take that box of powder and say, "Oh, this is what I'm supposed to make brownies from." Cool. He has no knowledge of what went on before to produce that powder. He's just going to make the brownies. His job is take the powder, make brownies,
break the brownies,
and
deliver the brown, and then some Kim or one of their kids, like Van, the grandson, will take the brownies to the actual thing.
Van's got to actually deliver the brownies. Yes.
All right, there's a plan here. Although it feels like once Taylor talks to somebody else in the chain, the realization will happen.
You got to tell them. You have to talk to them each individually and say, "Here's what I want you to do, and if you discuss this with any of your siblings, you're out of the will." Yeah,
you're out of here. You're not going to get my hard drive.
The only thing I'm going to leave to you is a Slash Funko Pop that that you have to somehow get rid of. You'll be saddled with that thing for the rest of your life.
They do the will now. That's pretty boring. It's a lot of nerd shit.
It is, yeah.
A microphone, I guess. You can have that. I don't have much else. My gaming PC. Enjoy.
Trench Wildfire says, "There's a perfect secret plan that was just broadcast to thousands of people."
Yeah.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be fine. 30,000 people will hear this, and I'm sure no one will tell anyone. It'll be fine.
Right. Exactly.
Hey, check this out.
What you should do is eat some before you die. Have the last thing they feed you is some cocoa powder and some hydrated eggs, or the dehydrated eggs and butter and stuff like that. And then there's very little, like, you'll come out, like, basically they'll just put your body on a brownie tray going into the crematorium, and if it comes out the other side, it'll be brownies.
And no one's the wiser. Yeah, well, except the guy pushing it through, I guess. Yeah. But no, like, that's a great idea. I like it. I'll just eat some Sara Lee frosting.
Some brownie. Oh yeah, there you go. Yep, exactly.
Just eat that before I die. All right, we have a plan. Let's get out of here. Thanks everybody for supporting us on Patreon. Those who have, when I say everybody, it's not everybody. A portion of you have. A select few, if you look at the larger thing. But man, I'm telling you, if a whole bunch of you just did $1 a month, you'd change our lives in a massive way. Yeah. TMS would become unstoppable.
No, you'd be exactly. If you guys became sentient, if you guys became self-aware, you'd be. Who knows what you could do with us?
It'd be incredible.
With our Patreon.
Yeah, so get over there and check it out. Patreon.com/TMS and read all about it. That's it for the show. Let's get out of here. You got music?
I do have a song. This one's going out to Daryl. Not that Daryl, but a different Daryl. I don't know which Daryl this is, really. Dear Space Wolf and Black Templar, on the 13th of November, that's today, I will be celebrating 1 year of sobriety.
Whoa!
That's awesome.
That's great.
This journey has had many ups and downs and major life changes, but TMS and FilmSack have been constant rocks of stability for me. I would love to hear a rockin' cover of St. Elmo's Fire as I continue to grow into my new life. Cheers, Daryl.
That's awesome. Here, let's play this for him.
It is awesome.
No food or drink allowed on the tour.
Oh, it's close.
Yeah, close. Yeah. It does mention drinks, so very good. Well, Daryl, if you come to TMS Vegas, I will buy you and enjoy a lovely Coke Zero with you.
Yeah.
With nothing else in it except ice and a straw.
There you go.
Sorry, Dolphins. All right, Daryl, St. Elmo's Fire. This is also known as Man in Motion, originally done by John Parr, and crap, I sent you the wrong version. I think I sent you the John Parr original.
Oh.
Derp.
You'll fix that.
Funny, because I'm looking at it in my list here. Did I wonder if I sent you the right version. Hold on a second.
Maybe you did. I can play a little of. Oh, I guess you have it too. We both have it.
Yeah. Well, I have what I I could go into the folder here. So the version I'm playing and that I will resend you.
Yeah.
It's funny because I only had 2 versions in my library, the original and this cover. And this cover is by Cloetta Paris. And it is it does not have the subtitle Man in Motion, but trust me, same song. That's how I know I sent you the wrong one, because the one I sent you doesn't have a
Sure.
There we go. Putting the new one in our Dropbox right now.
So that's the original.
Yeah, that's the wrong one. Yeah, that's the original.
Okay.
That's John Parr.
All right.
That's John Parr singing about Emilio Estevez and Ali Sheedy and Demi Moore, I think.
Demi
was in
Moore.
that.
Yeah, Demi Moore.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep. No, the whole.
I haven't
and
seen that
Judd
in a
Nelson.
long time.
I remember Judd Nelson.
Was Judd
Yep.
Nelson in that?
Judd Nelson was in that.
I mean,
but
that
don't
was
think
the
Anthony Michael
ultimate.
Hall.
That was the ultimate Brat Pack, right?
It was, because you had Rob Lowe as part of that as well,
Yeah.
and he wasn't part of the Breakfast Club. There we go. Now you got the real one.
Yeah.
That's it right there.
We're good.
Oh, it's so good.
Excellent.
All right, Cloetta Paris, and their cover of John Parr's St. Elmo's Fire.
Sounds great. We'll see you guys tomorrow for a fresh, new, hot Tuesday edition of the show. We'll see you then.
Get more at frogpants.com.
For all the